In this video, we're going to talk about errors in JavaScript. So errors in JavaScript are handled with the help of try and catch block. So with try, you get these curly braces and then you write some code that you have to write in JavaScript, your JavaScript code, right? And a try block is usually followed by a catch block where you catch the error and then you handle the error. For example, you could say console.log the error if you want to see the error, or you want to return an error or resolve an error. All of those things you could do here. So basically some code to handle the error, right? So this is the syntax. Basically this is how you write a try and catch block, and you can handle the errors and the catch block basically. So we'll look at 5 different types of errors in JavaScript. So the first one is called the reference error. So let me define a variable called x, and then I'll say try x is equal to y plus 1. And then I'll say catch error document dot write error dot name. So I get a reference error. Why? Because x has been declared but y is not declared. So JavaScript doesn't know what y is. So it gives you a reference error. The next that we look at is called the type error. So we'll say var num is equal to 1. Then we'll write the try block. We'll say num dot to uppercase. Okay. Then we'll say catch error. So document dot write error dot name. So we'll get the type error. Why do we get this error? It's because num is a number, which is 1, and you don't have access to this method, which is a method reserved for strings only in JavaScript, right? So to uppercase will convert a string into an uppercase string, but you can't do that with numbers. So numbers don't have access to this method. So that's why it gives you a type error, right? The next we'll look at is something called as the syntax error. So we'll say eval alert, and then we say hello. And then at the end, we'll just remove this single inverted comma here and see what happens. You get the syntax error, right? That's because the single inverted comma was required here, and then you get a hello here, you won't get the error, right? Then we have something called as the UI error. So we'll say decode URI %%%. So we get a URI error because this was expecting like a URL or a link here. Then we have something called as the range error. So var num is equal to 13.3714 and var n is equal to num dot to precision 500, right? So you get a range error here. Why? Because if you said here 2, then this would work properly, right? And you had to just document dot write n, it would work perfectly. You'll get the value 13 because this is rounding it off to 2 digits, which is 13, right? But you can't round it off to 500 digits. That will be a range error. So these are the 5 most common types of errors in JavaScript, and you will come across them quite often when you work with code. It's very important to get well versed with this try and catch block and well versed with these type of errors so that you're able to handle these errors when you come across them, and you're able to solve your bugs in your code. And these will be very common. So just wanted to point this out to you. If you like this video, then do subscribe, and thanks a lot for watching.